Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale with a brand new pro. It is RRebel. Rebel, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Ash? How you doing?
I'm doing great, dude. I am really excited. It's kind of funny how we ran into each other just like a half an hour ago on one of Hazard's streams, and you were like, dude, I have this really awesome deck that I've been actually like teaching other pros. It's a log bait deck, and today we're going to have a really great episode in store for you guys. We're going to get to know Rebel, and then we're going to hop into a replay or two, and then just into some live matches. And I hope that I walk away a better bait deck player, and thanks to the help, and you guys too, thanks to the help of Rebel. So Rebel, before we get into the specific deck that you're here to share with us, tell us a little bit about your Clash Royale background. I know right now you are like 28th or something in the world. I don't know if it's changed in the second I've looked, but you're in the top 50 if I can find you. Where are you?
Let me see. Mine's highlighted, so 34th.
Okay, you're 34th in the world right now, but you finished, what's your highest finish been at the end of the season? Have you finished top 20 before?
No, 43rd.
Okay.
Back when in the Goiza meta, I was running Hog Poison back then with guards and barbs.
Awesome.
My favorite meta.
Well, you're doing very well this season so far, and obviously, so this meta is being pretty kind to you as well. And if we take a look at your profile here, over 231,000 cards won, man. Impressive. Do you use this deck that we're going to be covering today in both challenges and ladder? Do you like it the same, or is it better or more suited for one or the other?
I prefer it more in ladder, but I do run it pretty often in challenges. Like this last card that I just ran, I actually got 12-0 using this, and
boom.
The reason why it kind of struggles is because Golem is like huge now, and Golem Lightning, it's very scary to face. And actually, that's my 12th win, and it's actually a really good match, but it's really hard to beat, and they're everywhere. Challenges for me, like I play them more for fun because I do have close to a fully max account. So I do a lot of test decks on there, or if I'm in between classes, I'll like throw on and play a couple, but I don't really take challenges as serious as a lot of other pros out there.
Okay. Well, yeah, so yeah, obviously you're very high on ladder, so you're more focused on that. But the fact that you went 12-0 and the fact that you've had a lot of success with tournament level standards does speak to the the viability of the deck as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn on the first replay here, as you can as we get to know you a little bit more, aside from just this deck. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you start playing Clash Royale? How long have you been playing, and when did you realize that you were good?
Well, I haven't been playing as long as most people. Probably closer to like 8 months.
Okay.
Something. And I came up, a more popular clan that people will know is Clout. I was a player for Clout. Back then I was like a level 11 there. And, I was pushing up pretty high, and then I got to, get on one of their sponsored accounts, and I was playing on a couple of theirs, and I did play in CRL. Yeah, okay. CRL for season 1 for Clout. So I played through season 1, but that whole the banning card system, I didn't really like it, and it wasn't really fun for me. And so I just decided to just stick with ladder. Ladder is my go-to. I'm a ladder player. I'm not too much of a tournament player or whatnot. So that's what I like.
Are you making a push this season for? Do you basically just push every season towards the end of the season to see how high you can improve upon your personal best?
Yeah, I definitely try to reach a personal best every season, and I've done very well consistently placing in top 100 every season. I think I'm close to 10 seasons straight placing top 100.
Wow, that's really impressive, because it might not sound like a ton to some of those viewers, but even the top 100, the level of cups, the number of cups you need is really high. Yeah,
and unfortunately it just keeps growing and growing every season, so it makes it harder and harder. people like C McHugh and all of them are all top ladder pushers now.
Indeed, yeah. And more top players, you're right, get the sponsored accounts, and it becomes even more difficult to get that high. So hats off for making it top 50 last season.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
No problem. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this specific deck here. So tell us how you came up with it and what are you trying to do with this deck? Just the overall deck philosophy before we kind of dive into the nitty-gritty.
All right. Well, I don't know if I could really trademark the deck as my own. I don't know. I don't believe I came up with it, but I definitely was one of the first people to start using it.
Yeah, I don't believe in that trademark stuff. I misspoke there, but yeah, okay. Just tell us, about the deck.
Yeah, I just didn't want to hear it on Twitter later, like,
I know,
you didn't come up with that deck. So it's 3.5. Pretty much, it's one of those annoying decks to face against. You keep pressure when you want to keep pressure, or you could slow down and have great defense when you need to play defense. The Rocket's in there mainly for that pesky balloon, because the balloon is really overpowered in my opinion. Okay. And also it deals with pump players. So, definitely not letting golem players pump really helps you in the long run, because if they do get that lightning down with a golem, it's very scary. Same with beatdown, giant, mini P.E.K.K.A.
Sure.
Probably some counters to this deck would probably be like a really fast cycling Expo. It's really hard since it is 3.5 and most Expo decks now are 3.0. It's you could rock it like the first 2-3 Expos.
But it's tough to keep up with it.
Yeah. You can kind of get outcycled. You may be able to pull a draw, but winning that matchup is really hard. Anything with a lot of splash damage, if you have Bowler or Executioner, sometimes it gets hard.
Okay, we're going to talk about how to kind of, how to handle those type of matchups. But before we do, can you kind of maybe just talk us through, really briefly, I'm just going to rattle off every card in the deck, and you can just tell in a sentence or two what the use of that card is in the deck most likely, if that makes sense to you.
Sure.
So the Knight, how are you using the Knight?
Knight is distraction.
Okay.
He has a lot of HP and he's cheap. So you can use him for distraction. He does pretty well against graveyard poison players, using just Knight and Log to defend.
Yeah, it's a very versatile card. It's tough to probably pinpoint.
He's one of the best cards in the game, hands down.
Okay. Bold statement. I like it. Okay, next we have Princess. How are you using the Princess, and are you ever using her at the bridge, or are you mostly using her behind the tower on defense?
The only time I'll place her behind the tower is in the very beginning of the game as a first card.
Okay, and otherwise you're placing her where?
Usually at the bridge or mid map to defend minions or something. But mainly it's one of those to try to bait his Log. That's the whole objective, is to bait the Log and get chip damage. If the Princess gets on the tower, it's 140 damage. So.
So it sounds like this is a pretty aggressive deck.
Can be, yeah.
Okay, the Log, I mean, obviously we know what the Log's for, and the Inferno Tower is pretty much the same thing. The Rocket, I noticed that you held it back last game as you're finishing Death Blow to the Crown Tower. Is that what you're basically doing with the Rocket, aside from those situations you talked about where you need it up against Balloon or a really high-powered push coming in the lane?
Yeah, if they aren't playing Pump, or they don't have a big push where you can get very good value, or play something like Executioner or something behind the tower that you could Rocket, then just don't use it.
Okay. All right, cool. So until the end, is there ever a point where you're just where you cycle Rocket maybe 2 times to finish off a match, something like that, when it's it's getting close to the end of the match?
Oh yeah, definitely. Unless you want to draw, sometimes you have to risk it and do the Rocket and then defend your life. And then try to get another Rocket in there, because if you don't, then you'll draw and then it's just a waste of 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I want to talk about Goblin Barrel, Goblin Gang, and Dart Goblin, the 3 goblins in the deck. Talk a little bit about the goblins. I'm going to turn on another replay here. Talk a little bit about the goblins and how you play each one of those cards.
Goblin Barrel, it's kind of it's like a cycle. So you throw it, even if they have log and cycle, you just throw it.
Okay.
Anyway.
So whenever you have whenever you're not sure exactly what to play, like maybe the time in between that you just defended, you'll throw the Goblin Barrel.
Yeah. Okay. You're making them use your log, and then that's when you place the princess, and then or Dart Goblin, other goblins. And then Goblin Gang's really good for defense. You can't zap the stab goblins, so if they do like a naked hog or something with a hog, then if they zap it, then your goblins stay alive, and they only get like 1 shot. So
yeah, pretty solid for 3 elixir. I think, it's not a sexy card, but it's definitely a viable card.
And that's what makes it better than Skarmy, in my opinion, because it's almost like wasting 3 elixir when they have zap, because it doesn't do anything.
So you recommend most players, if they're playing Skarmy, they can at least consider switching to Goblin Gang.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it does. Skarmy obviously has a lot more DPS, but Goblin Gang, I mean, I haven't had any problems with it just clearing stuff out.
Yeah, for sure.
You just
saw it right now on the screen. Yeah,
if they leave those stab goblins alone, it's gonna do damage.
Yeah, is there ever a time that you'd play? Obviously, you're going to be playing the princess and the Dart Goblin at the bridge, either to bait the log or after the log has been played. Now, what about Goblin Gang? Are you ever playing them aggressively at the bridge too, or are they mostly defensive?
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to like what cards they have, but if you want to keep pressure on and you don't have Goblin Barrel and Cycle, or you don't really want to play princess at the bridge because they may have minions or something like that, then yeah, I just do naked Goblin Gangs on the bridge and just let them run. They have to respond to it, or it's going to take half their tower.
Yeah. What about, okay, so you're going against a Golem beatdown player right now. Golem decks are so popular right now in the game. So what is your general philosophy in terms of going against a much heavier beatdown deck? Are you kind of playing defense through being aggressive offensively and stop them from being able to save up the elixir to have a big push against you? Or is it rather a case of just defending smartly and choosing your spots?
Yeah, it's definitely a mind game when you're playing Golem. You want to keep pressure on so that they can't pump and get big pushes. But the big thing is getting their cards that defend Inferno really well out of cycle. So say they have a Golem coming down the lane and you do like a Goblin Barrel or like a Goblin Gang on the opposite side just to like cycle, and they play like minions to defend it, then you don't have to worry about minions blocking the Inferno.
Okay.
So that's like the big thing, is like just getting their cards out of cycle. Like if they play a Golem Baby Dragon and like that's their push, like it's not as scary as if they were playing Golem and then they had the minions blocking the Inferno.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So that's actually really smart that you mentioned that, because oftentimes people just come on the channel and say, this is how I handle this, that's it. But you're right. So you're trying. So let's say they have a baby dragon golem and whatever skeleton and minions in their hand, and you think they're going to be prepped for a big push. Say they just drop the golem behind the king tower. Is that when you're going to stay aggressive, try to force the minions out of their hand?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Okay. Yeah. If my whole goal for that is to make him play troops, especially either minions or Electro Wizard. Baby Dragon, not so scared of.
Yep.
But if Electro Wizard and minions are in his cycle when I have to play Inferno, then I'm in trouble. So I could expend, especially in double elixir, I can expend almost all my elixir to try and bait out those cards and then still defend. And then I think in that replay, once I see that his minions are out of cycle, I'll place my Inferno up and out of lightning range, so he can't lightning my tower as well. So like 2 times I think he had to just lightning my Inferno, and that's it. And that's a negative trade for him.
Yeah, I noticed that. And we're watching right now, and you're really good at this deck, man. Because just some of the moves you're making are like next level, especially defensively. But what would you recommend for double elixir time versus single elixir time? You just mentioned that you're way more apt to play super aggressively in double elixir time, especially against a heavier deck. Is there any other tips for using this deck when it's double elixir versus just regular elixir?
Again,
are you generally trying to combo more, like with the knight, or are you throwing more stuff down at the bridge, or how do you play super aggressive with an already aggressive deck?
So say, I use Goblin Barrel, he uses log, and then I defend with say like a knight and a dark goblin, and I know that his log's out of cycle. I'll just throw my cards at the bridge. Like I'll throw my Goblin Gang, I'll throw my princess back a little bit, and my dark goblin. Like if I know his log's out of cycle, and say the only other spell he has is lightning, then I know I'm gonna get damage.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So if you catch him out of cycle, you just try to punish.
Yeah, I actually do have a really good replay of that happening and the player just giving up.
Okay, we'll share that. But before we do that, I want to hit a live match if you're cool with it.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. It's probably going to take you forever to find a match up there in ladder, so just hop into a challenge if you have one.
Okay. And I just shared that replay. But
okay, cool. We'll watch that before we let you go.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to really kind of grill you as you play. I think it's one of the more helpful times, and you can try to concentrate on the match and me blabbing in your ear.
Yeah, did you want to watch it together?
Well, play a match first, then we'll watch it.
Oh, okay.
If that's cool.
Let me make sure I got the right deck. Yep. All right.
Sweet.
Here we go. So I'm in a game.
Mm-hmm. And first things first, talk about your starting hand and what is an ideal starting hand and how do you like this one?
So I got Princess, Dark Goblin, Knight, and Goblin Gang. So I'll sit for a second, and then I'll just play Princess at the back because it's like a really safe move.
Mm-hmm. And it might bait their log right away, but it looks like it might be playing the same Goblin, it's Golem Baby Dragon deck.
All right, so there's his log. Knight to distract, just like I said.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dark Goblin to clean up, and then that Dark Goblin's actually gonna probably kill that as well. Like, look at all this value I'm getting just out of that one princess.
Yeah.
Even though she died, I killed 3 of his cards, and his log's 1 card out of cycle, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So then I just play stuff.
I gotcha. Okay, so that was pretty easy to follow the philosophy here. So I get it. So now you're baiting the log out again here, and there's the log.
You just be annoying. That's all.
And you are being annoying. It's funny because when you watch the replay, you just don't get a feel for it. Like that's why I love live matches, and I love having the pros play a live match or two in the match because you can see exactly what you're trying to do here. He hasn't been able to get anything going. You're forcing him to play that log. Once he does, and now you're gonna rocket that, I assume. Yep. Nice rocket there.
He's definitely playing Golem, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. So. Yep. Yeah, look at the deck. It's everything that we see so far is that, that classic, or not classic, but that the deck that's everywhere. There's the Golem. So now, just like you said, you're gonna try to get rid of his minions or whatever can block the Inferno.
Exactly.
I mean, he was smart playing the Mega Minion there instead.
So I'll probably play my. I don't think he'll have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that kind of works.
Yep, good Goblin Gang there. He's not going to get much damage here, even though he had that lightning for the Inferno.
And Dark Goblin is like, I think Dark Goblin actually is my favorite card in the game.
Really? Okay. Tell us a little bit about why.
He's so versatile, and he has such a high range that you can literally like place him in the whole opposite lane, and he's just going to town.
So where are you playing the? Where you normally talk a little bit about positioning. So especially with the Dark Goblin and the Princess, are you obviously you want to avoid giving them a ton of value out of their log. And here it is. That's
yeah,
game.
you don't like the biggest thing that will lose you the match is if you line up like all your troops for a log. If he gets like a
so spreading out as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's why the Dark Goblin's so good, because you can literally put him so far away from everything, so he isn't even touched 90% of the time.
Can you hop in one more live? Do you mind?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, like that's a hard matchup usually, but I literally wasn't able to let him push the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he was playing defense the whole game.
Yeah, he played 2 golems the entire match that I recall. And the second one was totally void because you kept applying the pressure. So mirror Princess starting plays here for you guys.
Right here when they get kind of close.
Royal Giant deck.
I made him use his zap.
Yeah, that's great. So now you're going to be able to easily Inferno.
I will place it out. Oh, that's kind of... That Dark Goblin's gonna clean him up.
Yeah. Again, the Dark Goblin comes through for you.
So he has zap. Oh, he left match.
No! Okay, that was easy.
That just goes to show you how annoying this deck can be.
I know, he's like, forget it, dude, I'm out.
Like, yeah, okay, let me crown him real quick.
That's great. Dude, tell him you're in a video live.
Yeah, like he sees the clan I'm in. Maybe he knew.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Maybe he's a viewer from Korea. Who knows?
RG can be another difficult matchup sometimes. Again, it's just played just like the Golem. So you just got to pressure. Don't let them build up. If they play RG in the back, they tend to know what they're doing. Because people that play RG just at the bridge is, in my opinion, not very smart.
Okay. Okay, let's do a redo here.
Okay. All right,
and then we'll
game right here.
All right, this will be your last game. We'll stop getting slave labor out of you here, and then we'll watch that replay in like double time and end the video.
Oh.
Ooh.
Graveyard.
All right, not a big deal.
Should be interesting. Graveyard sometimes is sketchy, but we'll see.
Very aggressive move out the gate there, though.
Yeah, that was
kind of
really
like
bad.
that. Kind of like that. On
kind of overextended. All right, so he has arrows. Whole log. Dark Goblin should clean everything up as well as get 2 shots on the tower.
All right.
Even if he's hurt, he'll still get 2 shots. Okay.
All right.
I play the Princess in the middle, but still in like the left lane so that I focus on the tower that has the chip damage.
Okay.
So I don't know if he has...
Gross.
Yeah, so I will play Inferno. His minions are out of cycle. I played the Inferno up so that the tower doesn't take aggro. So that's a big thing to know. Like, if you can make it so where your tower doesn't get aggroed, then you can defend Graveyard a lot easier.
Oh, okay, I got you what you're saying, yeah. So that way, obviously, the tower will shoot at skeletons versus the bowler, which is exactly what Graveyard players don't want to have happen.
I'm just trying to fix my cycle at the moment. Our Goblin does... Oh, okay, that didn't hit the Dark Goblin.
Barely. But good spacing there, though. That was a good example of why you should space out.
He does have arrows. So I may go in the Goblin Barrel right here. And the Knight, the big thing about that is the Knight is aggroing his tower. So if he didn't place archers right there, the Knight would have tanked for the Goblin Barrel.
Oh, I got you what you're saying. Okay. Ooh, this could be...
Doing good, though.
Yeah, for sure. Now, in a matchup like this where he has so many counters for what you're throwing at him, will you... See, obviously you haven't used the rocket yet, and it's been in hand most of the match here.
Yeah, it's been in my hand the whole game.
Yeah, so, and there's a freeze.
Freeze is scary.
Yep. And there's his arrows, so he's out of all his counters. I think Bowler's out of cycle 2.
Okay, so I need like one more barrel on the tower. I may just actually go for it right here, actually.
All right, here we go. 1 or 2 shots from that Dart Goblin, and then you're in rocket range.
Yeah, I'm staying aggressive.
Oof. Oh!
Bad princess. Bad princess on my part.
Oh, no.
I'm okay. If anything, I could walk.
All right. Here comes freeze. There it is.
Oh, Dark Goblin, where are you going?
Yeah, your Dart Goblin not feeling it, man.
He's doing very well.
He is.
Defending that.
Oh, this is going to come down to it, man. All right. You just need a couple hits. All right. There's the rocket.
You missed the bowler. That kind of sucks, but...
Yeah. All right. Defend this one, and you're good. Nice log. All right. I feel pretty good now.
That's a good game.
Yep. You got the rocket. Wow.
Matchup, but that's a good game.
That was very difficult matchup because, you know, yeah, Bowler and arrows, definitely 2 of the best counters against your deck. Well played.
Bowler is really annoying.
Well played there. Let me just watch your last replay that you just shared. I'm just going to watch it in double speed. If you want to go ahead and hop in, you can.
Okay. It's really in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to just watch it normal speed, it's like the second push that he just gives
okay, cool.
up.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Right.
So what would be your perfect opening move with this deck?
You know, it's really a passive move, so like just a Goblin Barrel usually.
Okay.
To kind of feel out his deck and see what he has. If he played Ice Golem, I'm thinking Hog Rider.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many beatdowns play Ice Golem. Musketeer, I'm still thinking Hog Rider.
Yep.
And then he plays Miner, so I'm like, okay, Miner Poison.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. So he definitely has either Poison or Rocket. So like right off the bat, I already know what his deck is.
Yeah.
So this was an aggressive move by him. I had to react quick because I really wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm. Putting the Ice Golem in front of the Musketeer.
Yeah, and you just see like how much Dart Goblin just like cleared that up that fast.
Yeah. So you seem to always be playing the Dart Goblin like in front of your King Tower in the lane that you want him to. Is that the most common scenario?
So right here is where it is. He used
Okay.
the fog, so I just spam stuff on him. And he has no elixir, and then I literally just take down his tower, and he just says, wow. And then like...
wow. Yeah.
So
he had the poison, but not enough elixir for it. He had to play the Musk, and yeah, you totally killed him there. That's the name of the deck, the log bait.
Yep.
All right, nice, man.
Just fortunately, he played Miner at the same time I threw my Goblin Barrel, so it kind of set me up. And then that's his like good game log. He just like left after that.
Wow, well played, man. Well played. Well, dude, thanks for coming on, man. I think the deck is really an awesome deck. You were telling me earlier that like some of the other big name players in the game are asking you to teach them it, so you must be really onto something in terms of your tactics with the deck. So I just wanted to thank you again for coming on the channel and sharing it with all you guys. It's been a pleasure having you on. Do you have any shout outs or anything like that? I know you might be getting back into the streaming game. Tell us where we can find you.
So I stream over at twitch.tv/revolution with 2 N's.
Conveniently, it's right on the screen right now.
It's right on the screen. Nice. I haven't been streaming for a while because I had PC problems. My processor fried, but I just got it fixed. I did a short stream the other day, and it was pulling viewers. It was very fun.
Nice.
So I try to keep things entertaining over there. But shout out to Jake, Tag.
Sir Tag, yep.
Yeah, Sir Tag and Hazard. Like, I'm always in Discord with them, hanging out in their stream. So make sure you check them out, because I'm usually in Discord with them while they stream.
Yeah, that's how I found you. So yeah,
exactly. So if you guys are ever trying to find me, I'm usually in when they're streaming. Other than that, I don't really have a schedule per se yet, because I'm trying to work it out. My term's about to end for classes, so I'm trying to figure out like my schedule and then what I could work around with that. But just keep in touch with me on Twitter, which is Revolutions with a Z instead of 2 N's.
All right.
And then that's where I pretty much post everything, and I rant about the game on there. So I talk about Lava Loon and all that fun stuff. So.
And if people have any questions on this deck, do you mind if they reach out to you on Twitter?
Oh yeah, definitely hit me up. I'll help you out. I'm here to help.
Awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate that. I'm sure the viewers do as well. And again, I'll include all the links to the Twitch and the Twitter and all that good stuff in the description below. Rebel, thanks for coming on again, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, dude. It's an honor.
Well, thanks, man. It's an honor to have you. And guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a really fun deck. I know I picked up a tip or two along the way. And guys, make sure you check out my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. You can see the info to all his social media, daily giveaways, contests, all that good stuff in the description below. Thanks again for watching. And as always, take care, guys.